Story 1 of 4. AFL player Lance Collard faces disciplinary action for alleged homophobic slur. AFL player Lance Collard faces disciplinary action for alleged homophobic slur. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Lance Collard was found guilty by the AFL tribunal of using a homophobic slur, against Frankston player Darby Hipwell during a VFL match on March 27, 2026. Collard denied the allegation and insisted he said "come here, maggot" instead, signing a statutory declaration to this effect. Collard was initially handed a 9-week suspension, with 2 weeks suspended, by the AFL tribunal for the slur. Collard is a Noongar and Yamata man, aged 21, and was drafted by Street Kilda in 2023. Collard was previously banned for 6 matches in 2024 for using the same homophobic slur. But not all outlets told the same story. The ABC and Guardian report that Collard was initially handed a 9-week suspension, but The Guardian also states that the tribunal initially considered a 10-week suspension before settling on 9 weeks. The appeal board's reasoning in The Guardian and ABC suggests that Collard's previous misconduct in 2024 was probably far more serious than the current incident, while St Kilda's legal team argued the current incident was more serious due to the context of the melee. The ABC and Guardian both report that Collard's suspension was reduced to 4 weeks on appeal, but the ABC also states that the final suspension was 4 weeks with 2 weeks suspended, while The Guardian states it was 2 weeks with 2 weeks suspended, totaling 4 weeks. This story was covered by ABC News, The Guardian, and news.com.au. Story 2 of 4. Decomposing 25-ton sperm whale carcass closes Sydney beaches, attracts sharks. Decomposing 25-ton sperm whale carcass closes Sydney beaches, attracts sharks. Here's what every outlet agrees on. A 25-ton partial sperm whale carcass, 8.5 to 9 meters long, washed ashore at Era Beach, Sydney's Royal National Park, on April 25, 2026. Beaches Gary, Era, and Burning Palms, and Guatemala in some sources, remain closed due to elevated shark risk. Increased shark activity, including great white and bull sharks, was reported near the carcass, prompting beach closures. The carcass is in a medium to advanced state of decomposition, with a strong odor described as stinking or rotting garbage by authorities and locals. Removal of the carcass is planned but delayed due to logistical challenges, including its size, location, and tides, with no confirmed timeline beyond early next week. But not all outlets told the same story. ABC and Guardian confirm the carcass is a sperm whale, but SMH's initial report, April 25, does not specify the species. ABC and Guardian state the carcass is 25 tons and 8.5 to 9 meters long, while SMH does not mention these specifics in its first report. ABC reports Gary, Era, and Burning Palms beaches are closed, while SMH and Guardian also include Guatemala in their lists, though ABC's later articles mention Guatemala separately. This story was covered by ABC News, The Guardian, and Sydney Morning Herald. Story 3 of 4. Elon Musk sues Sam Altman and OpenAI over alleged breach of non-profit mission. Elon Musk sues Sam Altman and OpenAI over alleged breach of non-profit mission. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Elon Musk filed a lawsuit in 2024 against Sam Altman, Greg Brockman, OpenAI, and Microsoft for breach of contract and unjust enrichment, alleging OpenAI betrayed its non-profit mission by restructuring as a for-profit entity. The trial began on April 27, 2026, in Oakland, California, with jury selection and opening arguments scheduled for that week. Elon Musk provided approximately $38 million in funding to OpenAI between 2016 and 2020, mostly before leaving the board in 2018. OpenAI was founded in 2015 as a non-profit with the mission to advance AI for the benefit of humanity, and later restructured in 2019 to include a for-profit arm governed by the non-profit. Musk is seeking damages of over $134 billion, removal of Altman and Brockman, and reversal of OpenAI's for-profit restructuring. But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian and ABC report that Musk left OpenAI's board in 2018 after a failed bid to exert more control, while OpenAI's defense claims Musk left because he wanted to merge OpenAI with Tesla and take control. The Guardian states Musk's funding was a tax-deductible donation, while ABC notes Musk's lawyers argue his $38 million was an investment entitling him to ownership stakes. News Kamau and ABC report Musk's damages claim was initially $150 billion, but The Guardian and News Kamau later state Musk is seeking over $134 billion in damages. This story was covered by ABC News, The Guardian, and news.com.au. Story 4 of 4. U.S. Supreme Court ruling weakens Voting Rights Act, curbs race-based redistricting. U.S. Supreme Court ruling weakens Voting Rights Act, curbs race-based redistricting. Here's what every outlet agrees on. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled 6-3 along partisan lines that Louisiana's second majority black congressional district was an unconstitutional racial gerrymander, blocking its use. The ruling effectively guts Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, the last major provision preventing racial discrimination in voting, by raising the burden of proof for plaintiffs to show intentional discrimination. Justice Samuel Alito wrote the majority opinion, arguing that compliance with Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act could not justify race-based redistricting in Louisiana's case. Justice Elena Kagan dissented, calling the ruling a demolition of the Voting Rights Act and warning it would allow states to systematically dilute minority voting power without legal consequence. The case involved Louisiana's congressional map, where black voters, about 30% of the state's population, were packed into one district in the original 2022 map. Then a second majority black district was created after a federal judge's order. But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian states the court rendered ineffective Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, while ABC describes the ruling as leaving the core of the Voting Rights Act intact but narrowing how it can be used. The Guardian emphasizes the court stopped short of declaring Section 2 unconstitutional, while ABC frames the ruling as a significant shift in how courts interpret the balance between preventing racial discrimination and equal protection. The Guardian notes the court's new test requires plaintiffs to prove intentional discrimination, while ABC does not explicitly detail the new legal standard but focuses on the broader impact of limiting race-based maps. This story was covered by ABC News and The Guardian.